What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kpop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fan voice. I am your host, Justin Turneau, with my co-host, Brian Limper.
Man, we need to start having like entrance music.
Bam, 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 bam. We're back.
We need some entrance music to
on a
walk
super.
out on.
We really do. We each need something. That would be dope.
For our reaction videos, you're just going to enter through our giant...
Oh my gosh. The super surprise.
Pixie backdrop.
Yeah, and if we don't like that one, we'll just use the other backdrop that we also got, so...
Or the wall flag, so...
Or
we have
it could be
anything.
Anything. Anything is possible, honestly.
Anything is possible. Except getting the Dia chair or the Kabuki flag.
Yeah, good... Shoot, if you really wanted the Kabuki flag, then... You must have really wanted it. Whoever bought that.
Let's just say we're gonna be unveiling some crazy
Congrats
one of
to
a
you.
kind merch here soon.
My goodness. That went for a lot of money.
But we did sneak in and get some some Pixie stuff from their...
Well, you have to just wake up and make a decision to be a winner. That's all you gotta do.
That's all you really gotta do.
All you gotta do, folks. But yeah, we'll have some cool stuff that we won on for our Pixie fandom for sure.
Look forward to that. All right, and that's this week's episode. See you guys next week.
Time to go home and eat some donuts.
Which we already did. So, we got some other stuff to do, though, so that's fun.
It is.
First thing we have here is I got just an album.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it last week, I think. 2 weeks ago? I don't even know. But there's the Seraphim albums, right? And we weren't sure if they were randomized or how they determined what idol or member was in each of these. But then I looked it up online when I went back to Target the other day, and it turns out each one of them's a different color, and each color is one of the members. So we know the silver one's Chaewon, and this one's a blue one. What's it say? It's like, it says on the front, it says something blue. This version is the Sparkling blue. I have no idea who it is. I do know, I actually saw one, I know it's not Sakura. So it's either going to be Manche, Kazuha, or Yunjin.
Katsuwa!
Hey!
That's awesome.
We did it.
Good job.
We did it.
There's a photo card. They're like coming through this like burned wall.
Yes.
Whoa.
All right. Well, good pick.
Good stuff, team. There it is.
Oh,
very cool.
You get the whole photo book.
That's awesome. Well, that's the only one I needed. That's awesome. Very, very cool.
All right. Good stuff.
Good stuff, team.
Good thing there's only 2 of the 5 colors there, and you got one of them. So I bought the other one.
Gosh. Good
so
job,
if anybody's
Target.
curious about that, spoiler alert, if you go to Target, the blue one's Kazuha, the silver one is Chaewon, the green one is Sakura. Don't know the other 2 colors, but one of those is Yunjin and the other one's Manche. So you guys have to figure that out on your own.
Honestly, I guess if you know the members' colors, that would probably help.
Or I guess you could just look it up.
That's
yourself.
true too. I wonder if they like. I wonder if it makes like a
Good
pattern
question.
with
I don't
all
know.
the burn. I guess those are burn marks on the thing. I don't really know.
We also have some crazy drinks to try
Oh, I'm excited
because we found them at Myers. But for the first thing we have, I got the specials, not hot sauce. Well, it is salsa that Justin's going to try for Wetworks because I'm sure he'd appreciate this. Now, okay, to preface this, I ate some of this earlier and it was hot. Like, I mean, I love hot stuff, so it's hot. So I told Justin he can try it. This is like a one chip and dip kind of thing. You just got to let it.
I got it.
You just got to get a good scoop in there and just let it
What works is for you is why we do it.
We might have to pause after this because we got some drinks to try. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, you might need to break your
I
chip
need
there
to
a
get
little
a
bit.
not as good chip. There we go.
But yeah, it's no joke. It tastes good, but the after bit's gets a little spicy.
Oh yeah, it's real spicy.
It's a hot one. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like one of those things where you're like,
It really kicks in after you're done eating it.
I feel like you're like swallowing and it gets worse. It's definitely spicy.
That's what, that's it. That's all I needed.
It's pretty hot.
It does have a good flavor to it, though, right?
It does taste really good.
So I thought maybe...
I don't think I would like enjoy eating more, which sucks because it tastes good.
But it's like, the earlier I ate some, I'm like, oh, this isn't bad. I kept eating it.
Yeah.
The more I ate it, I was like 6 chips in. I'm like, oh my God, this is so
It's
hot.
hot. Man, they're not lying on the cover.
Like, I was like,
Woo.
I literally was like tearing up. My eyes are watering, right?
Yeah.
My eyes are watering now and I'm eating it. So, if you guys ever want to go get
Oh, man.
Chip Magnet.
Hot mess.
It is hot. So,
It is a hot mess, let me tell you.
on a scale from 1 to 10, how hot would you say that is?
I was going to say like 7.
Dude, well, maybe it's because I ate a bunch of it. I don't know. But
Yeah,
it was
you
hot.
probably ate more. It's hot, though. I mean, I don't think I would really want to eat anymore because it was so hot. It tasted really good.
It's hot.
But, like,
Ugh.
I don't know. One chip, maybe it wasn't as bad as a lot of chips.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Earlier today, it was like burning my mouth. Like, it's literally, it was when it was so hot, my eyes were like watering. My
Like
nose
that-
was running, dude.
That one ramen we had, to me, was hotter than that.
I think you gotta eat more chips, bro.
I was
It's
going
gotta
to
be
say,
kicking.
I was like, that honestly didn't seem as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was hot, but, like, I'll say 7. It tastes really good.
But the reason it was hot, right? I was reading the ingredients in it. You know, see what's actually in it.
Yeah.
And the ingredients are your basic tomatoes, sweet onions. Then you have serrano peppers, habanero peppers, ghost chili peppers, and scorpion chili peppers.
I didn't even know that's a real thing.
So all the hottest peppers you could possibly have are mixed into this thing.
That's crazy. I mean, my mouth is still definitely tingling.
Yeah, dude. When I had it, I like legit it was hot.
It's hot. It's hot for sure. Chip Magnet. Never even heard of it. Classic chunky salsa. Well, pretty good.
It has some good flavor. It's
It
just
tastes
really
really
hot.
good. Yeah, I mean, that's what kind of sucks because I don't think I'd really want any more. But it tastes really good.
Oh, I can smell it. It's like making my eyes water.
Yeah.
You know, like PTSD. But all right, that's for you.
It was, man. Yeah, What Works? Try it. Let us know.
It lingers.
It's spicy, man. I do feel like I'm going to have the spiciness on my tongue for like the whole episode.
So maybe one of those things where like the more chips you eat, like the water you drink, is just gonna make it worse.
Yeah. Swallowing it did not help. It definitely made it hotter, but obviously I had no choice. But it was good. It was good. Also, to wonder how like it has 5 calories. How do they even?
I don't know.
How does something
That
have
seems like
5
fake news.
calories?
But in more exciting news, we have these crazy energy drinks that we found.
We got some crazy stuff today to try.
This one is called Natural Energy. Fuel your quest for alchemy. No idea what that means.
Yeah, I've never seen
But
this
it's
before.
called. It's a Wellmune blend from Lit Blood Orange.
Ooh.
I don't know. We'll see what happens here.
Is this my cup?
I got you that
smell.
one so you could use it.
Ooh.
I don't-
It's not really orange.
Yeah, it's like a
It's like
purplish
purple.
magenta color.
Looks cool.
Maybe that's the blood part of it. I don't know.
Maybe. I've never heard
like
of this
the-
brand.
This is like I don't know if this is like a weird generic like
Yeah.
Myers brand or
What is it? What's the brand?
I don't know.
I just see it says.
Fuel F-U-L.
Oh.
F-U-L.
Fuh.
All right.
Fuh.
Kind of smells like a blood orange.
It does. Wow.
It's not terrible.
It's not bad.
It's very light tasting.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be way more heavy.
You can tell because it says 10 calories. That's how you know it's.
So no sugar. And does it? I don't know. Yeah, it's very.
Yeah,
It's almost like water.
It's one of those ones that has like a strange aftertaste.
Yeah.
The zero sugar gives it
It's
a weird
almost like
aftertaste.
watery. It's really okay.
It's definitely not the worst thing I've ever had.
That's true.
The second one we have is called.
Good old Fuh.
It's by the same people, right?
Full your quest.
This has. I don't know if Lit is part of the name. Lit Blood Orange, because this one says Savage Triple Berry.
Must be. I don't know. Triple berry.
What are the 3 berries?
I don't know. It just says triple berry. Is it gonna be red also?
This one smells kind of terrible.
I guess it's a little.
It smells like a mix between berries and feet.
Oh gosh, that
It's
sounds
weird.
gross. Let me smell it. Oh, it smells really bad. Wow,
weird.
that's exactly. You're right. You're 100% correct.
You know when you watch those videos of people smashing wine with their feet? Imagine this is what
Oh.
feet smells like
I
afterwards.
don't even want to try it now. That does not smell good. How is it?
It's not bad.
Is it like the other one? It's okay.
I'm not sure.
It's not great. It's not very good.
It's not the best.
It's not awful. Fuel your quest for alchemy.
I don't know what
I feel like that's like a weird K-pop thing.
I mean, alchemy is the law of equivalent exchange, so I don't know.
They have to finish their quest for.
I'm not sure what that has to do with an energy drink.
Yeah, it's not great. I think I like the orange one a little more. I don't know.
We have one last drink, but we'll try that one at the end of the show.
Let me tell you, we are excited for this one.
My gosh.
We'll let it be a surprise.
What a crazy
Those
start
are
to the
just
podcast.
so...
Definitely not as
They're
good as the
so-
Stinger.
They're so... Oh, not at all. They're so not that good.
Not as good as the Stinger.
Guess I'll just drink that orange one as we go.
Not as good as Hot Mess salsa.
That was really tasty.
Dude, just
I
keep
mean, it's
eating
like
it.
still there. Yeah, it's still on my tongue.
Just take some more down and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
But yeah, fuel, whatever you are.
It's like F-U-L.
Fuel.
Like it's German or something.
Well, Mune blend. It was not great.
It was not.
Both of them, not very great.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this last drink we have is going to taste better than both of those.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
But
Definitely looks the coolest.
At least this has a spice rate that's very mild. I didn't know drinks had spice ratings.
I didn't know that either. Where's the spiciest drink?
I don't know. We can add that to the list.
It's just this.
All right, so before we go to our episode, I got a fun fact for you. Because you know how we had the Mountain Dew the other day?
Yeah, we did.
The Freedom Pop one?
Yeah.
If you look at the back on the label, it says, with added sugars to it, there's 122% of your daily intake of sugar.
What?
I thought it was a typo. I didn't think it was real.
Is that out of 1,000?
Dude, what? I'll have to look it up. Stay in the photo department.
Holy crap.
Dude, I saw that on them like, this can't be it.
That's so funny. Oh, man. Okay.
It's like legit.
Good thing I ate like 5 candy or ate a bunch of Skittles before.
Hold on, I'll find it. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I thought legit thought
Is
it
that
was a typo.
safe?
That's like 122%. What the heck is that even possible? Turns out apparently it is. It was funny because it was like the little one too. It wasn't even like the big one. Well, this one's a little different, but I'll show it to you. Added sugar, 145%.
Holy crap. What the heck? Oh my gosh, man.
Needless to say, you should probably not be drinking Mountain Dew with the 270 calories in one bottle and your 145% daily intake of sugar. Gosh.
Is that good after the few donuts we just had?
I don't know.
Holy crap. Is Mountain Dew just not that good for you?
Dude, that begs the question. This is today's episode. Is Mountain Dew not good for you?
Is Mountain Dew
No wonder they have the meme where the 17th century kid couldn't handle a shot of Mountain Dew, dude.
That's the podcast question we need to ask today. I don't think they could.
That's enough daily sugar for his entire family.
That's enough sugar they have for like a month.
I know.
What did they even eat then? I don't know.
I don't know.
That medieval child would not survive drinking Mountain Dew.
That was my fun fact, and the one that I told you earlier about
holy crap!
How I found out all the crunch berries are the same flavor. Very disappointing.
Gosh.
Let's just say my childhood is ruined today.
That's crazy. I never would have. I mean, I don't know. I guess I didn't know you could go over 100.
I didn't either.
I guess 100. I'm like, oh, obviously a Mountain Dew would have the most sugar you need a day. Sure, that makes sense. But over, I'm like, how high can we go? Like, the sky's the limit.
Apparently, people say they're giving 110%. That's completely logical.
I know, right? Yeah,
that's a real thing.
If that's like a very easy thing to do, and because Mountain Dew's at 145.
My gosh, these guys are very overzealous, but apparently they're not.
No, they're just doing pretty good.
Oh,
I guess it makes sense why the guy in the UK or wherever that was drank.
Yeah, all the synapses in his brain exploded.
He drank the American Mountain Dew and he was gonna explode.
It all makes sense.
How's that all? I wonder how all of it's like legal here, but like literally you can't go to another country and they have like the most.
Because it's America, the land of the free. You do whatever you want here, man.
145%. Boom.
We used to have Coca-Cola that was made with real cocaine. I mean,
let's pump up those numbers.
Is that not? I don't know. For anybody listening to this is from a different country, gosh.
Yeah. What kind
no
of
wonder
Mountain
everybody's
Dew
so skinny
have?
where you guys are at.
Yeah. What kind of Mountain Dew do you have? Because I want to know. I want to send you a normal bottle. Can that even get over the border?
I know, right?
Is that even allowed?
It's like an illegal drug, like in Brittany Griner trying to leave Russia with like the cannabis.
Yeah, like just like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Can we get that into your country? Because that guy, unless he's acting, was freaking out when he was drinking it.
He looked like one sip. His brain.
He's
exploded.
Like, what is this? I'm like, what do you mean? It's Mountain Dew. Like we just drank a.
I'm pretty sure babies drink that before they get in bed.
Holy crap.
All right.
Well, I am informed.
What a weird
I
time
am
to be alive,
informed.
man.
Oh, that's like blew my mind.
It's a real fun fact for the day.
I'm shocked.
All right, so for anybody who has not turned off of this episode already, this
For
is going to be our...
who's, like, now powering home some Mountain Dew, good job.
I know. I feel it's going to be real weird if you're
Do we-
drinking Mountain Dew listening to this
Do
right
we
now.
need one?
Shout out to the dude that works with me that was super sexy. Found out he got diabetes the other day. The one thing that he's sad about is he couldn't drink Mountain Dew anymore.
Hey, buddy.
But then he discovered Mountain Dew Zero Sugar, which I told him tastes just like normal Mountain Dew. Saved his life.
Oh, gosh. Lifesaver, dude.
No wonder he had diabetes. He drank fucking 4 Mountain Dews a day.
You know what?
That's like 488% of what your normal sugar intake should be.
That means you can, like, stop having sugar for, like, a month and be, like, okay. That's crazy.
Those numbers just aren't adding up for me.
Oh, my gosh.
If there's any dietitians or professional doctors listening to this,
I'm sure there are.
please let us know where we went wrong in our estimations on how Mountain Dew and sugar works.
Mountain Dew is really good. I do like Mountain Dew.
I don't drink a ton of Mountain Dews, only when there's like new flavors.
Yeah.
I do like a cherry Coke though.
I like...
That is a shameless plug for Yin and her
Bring it back to Spotify.
single that's been banned
You
from
cowards.
everywhere. Like our video was banned off of YouTube.
We know exactly how you feel. We are on the same team. I feel like if I had to say the Mountain Dew I had the most is probably just a couple times at Baja Blast.
Yeah, Baja Blast hits different sometimes.
Oh, how much sugar intake is that?
A lot.
Holy crap!
I'm just so gulp.
I'm just whole. Yeah, because the Taco Bell medium is like a freaking gallon.
Yeah, so
Holy
I don't know
crap.
about that.
I'm just mind blown right now. I can't even think. That's so crazy.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we should just end the episode.
I didn't know you could.
We're never going to have an episode this
I
week.
didn't know you could go over 100. Yeah, is this just Thanksgiving?
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Numbers, statistics, averages.
I'm sure a lot of K-pop idols drink Mountain Dew. Probably not.
Oh, I'm trying to think what else we have to catch up on here.
Wow.
No wonder chewing gum gave him energy.
Yeah, I know, right?
2%
Do not
sugar.
give Dajong a Mountain Dew. Oh my gosh.
Their intake, the little bodies can only handle so many Swedish fish and gum.
They were eating. Pixie was eating so much candy in those videos, so that's all I swear they're eating is just like Swedish fish and other types of candy.
Speaking of, I finally put the shelf together that I've been putting off for 4 months.
Looks really great.
And I put it in the corner over here, and now I have a pixie shrine.
It looks really
to
good.
Dia and the rest of the girls.
It's really good.
And fun fact, putting together the shelf took me 10 minutes.
4 months for 10 minutes, worth it.
I should have just done it to begin with. I don't know what I was so scared of. I should have given it 172%.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like that's 145% of work during that time period.
But now I've made this custom light stick box. I don't know, it came out pretty good.
One of a kind.
Just gonna fill it up with more albums now.
Pixie light stick. Yeah, you'll have to get more Pixie albums.
But that's cool. That's a good update. I'm trying to think anything else happened. I don't remember what we talked about last week, but
What was our episode last week?
we are going to
Wow.
a lot of concerts in August.
Oh my gosh, August is going to be like the most busy concert month ever. It's going to be a busy one. Starting with Lollapalooza.
Yep, and New Jeans.
New Jeans.
Then we're going to go see...
Which one?
I don't know which one's
I
first.
think Idol is first.
Yeah, I think it is.
And then literally the next week is aespa in the same spot, or Home Away from Home, Rosemont.
And then before that...
Billy's in like 2 weeks.
Or Try Me.
Not Billy. I always say that.
I wish
just because it ends. I know that'd be cool because it ends in the E. Tribe. Sorry, Indianapolis will be at Tribe. If anyone's going, we'll be there.
True.
I'm excited for that. It'll be fun. Definitely gonna get a little Tribe playlist to try and get a little more prep for the concert.
Be a little more hyped.
Yeah, but it should be fun, and it'll be fun to make a road trip to Indy to go to the most.
Which is fun because it's the same distance away as Rosemont is.
Who would have thought that going the same distance, different directions, you're still getting there at the same time?
Well,
Crazy.
technically, they're in a different time zone.
That's true. We will actually have to.
We're gonna be prepared this time.
We will maybe have to remember that this time.
We will be prepared.
Yeah, we'll be okay. We made it last time when we didn't know, so we really made it like right before they got on
I know.
too.
Oh, speaking of being prepared for things, everybody, go check out Cork STL
Absolutely.
in St. Louis, Missouri, or worldwide, because you can go on their internet Google machine and go check out their site, which I will link in our little show note descriptions, because they are friends and trusted companions in K-pop now, and my stomach's freaking out, and they are Billboard certified, so every purchase counts towards the album sales for groups in America on the Billboard.
Oh, yeah.
Top 100, I think, or whatever it is. And they're the first and maybe only one that we know of K-pop store in St. Louis, Missouri. Missouri in general, probably.
It's the only one I know. One of the nicest ones you've ever been in.
If you go on their site, it's really nice. They got,
Oh, yeah.
albums, light sticks, posters, photo cards, maybe. And
They
other
got
stuff.
everything.
The owner's really cool. You get really good deals. Prices are amazing.
Anything you need.
You can pre-order stuff. Go to
Yeah. Anything you need from a K-pop store, they have it. I bought stuff from them before. Actually, multiple times. I bought stuff in store, and I also used the website, and both times was amazing. So,
and they send you extra goodies and stuff. So, I mean,
really cool.
Really hook you up. So, yeah, go check them out. Like I said, I'll link their site in our show notes. I don't know why I keep saying that. They're not show notes. In the description of the video, I will link them so you can click on it and go check out their stuff.
Cork
Help them
STL,
out.
coolest K-pop store ever.
You help them out so they can help us out so we can help them out. And we
It's
can
just
sponsor
a big...
K-pop profiles.
It's just... I know. It's just a big power of friendship K-pop circle of everyone loving everybody.
But, speaking of buying albums, that brings me into today's topic that Justin has no idea what it is.
I do not.
I really don't even know what it is, but I had this idea in my head, which I do every single week, before I start thinking about Pixie and get really sad and don't want to do anything.
Oh, I was going to say, you sound like you said, I have Dia in my head. I was like, I know.
Yes, that too. Both. I'm looking at her right now on my computer.
There's lots around.
And over here on my right side, in this autographed picture you got me.
In the Polaroids, in the t-shirt.
So, we actually were talking about this the other day when the mics weren't hot, just in the privacy of the confines of my car.
Mm-hmm.
Or the red car, I don't remember. And it plays it perfectly because today's topic is going to be a free-form discussion on what we think has changed in K-pop since we started listening to it.
Oh, that's fun.
So there's no outline for this, so we're just going to say stuff and talk about it.
Sure.
No hate is meant to be put out in this episode, but I'm sure people are going to take it negatively.
Never.
I don't care.
Never.
But if you disagree with us, you can come comment on it, and we will come talk to you in a sophisticated manner.
We'll try.
Hopefully.
We'll try.
Unless you're coming for Pixie, then I'm not going to do it.
No, it's like, absolutely not. Will not take any Pixie hate.
But we were talking about this the other day, because we were actually talking about how, certain things are definitely different than when we first got into K-pop. Because we started listening to, 2016, 2017, right? Which doesn't seem like that was that long ago, but it is.
Yeah, obviously there's older K-pop fans than us, for sure. But from when we started, there has been changes.
Just what? That's
And it actually has been a while.
6.5 years? It's been a long time.
It's weird because when I think about it, I don't think about it being that long,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, we kind of just got into it. But I'm like, and then, meeting other people or interacting or just seeing people online talk about it, they're like, oh, I got into it with such and such, or I got into it with this. And you're like, well, we were way before that. It kind of puts it in your perspective, we kind of have this thing for a while.
So, we're really, like I said, it's not really an outline type of episode. We're just going to talk and whatever happens, happens. I'll have to put a disclaimer at the end for parental advisory suggested.
For lots of cuss words.
But
just kidding.
One of the things that's first thing that comes to my mind, right? I saw, actually, it's kind of funny. Since I was thinking about this the other day when we were talking about it, I've seen so many of these type of topics
posted.
What? So many of these topics posted on K-pop help Reddit or K-poppers or whatever, right? Because I go on Reddit all the time.
Yeah.
And one of the big things I can say without a doubt is extremely different from when we first got into it is the amount of products and the amount of albums that they sell out to people.
Oh, 100%.
Compared to what it used to be, right?
100%.
If we are talking about back when we first started getting into it, you would get like, keep in mind, like I said, we're not like first gen or really second gen fans. We're like,
yeah. So those people could yell at us and be like, "Well, you think you have it hard?"
Well,
we're just going from when we started to now.
It's just like
we get that anybody. It was harder back in the day.
Yeah, obviously. It's like
we're not going to discredit
back then.
Yeah, we're not going to like, oh, we had,
So yeah, if you're like first or second gen, like hardcore, like come let us know how it was when you did it, because we're like, what, into third, fourth, fifth, whatever we're in now.
We were like, I guess we were like really end of the second into the third.
Yeah, like right when Red Velvet and Twice
when it was like right when they were starting to really get bigger.
And like 4 Minute and Sistar and all of them were ending. And Cara were all like coming to a close.
So we hit it at a really good spot. I thought of like a nice transition into like, just that solid third generation, which is like a really legendary. Not that they all are, but I just feel like there's a lot of legendary groups that like we kind of grew up or as a K-pop fan on.
I know we did an episode a long time ago about how 1 year was like the best year, and really like the 2015ish to 2016 groups that came out then. Those are the ones we really started getting into it with.
Right.
So, like I said, the albums are a lot different because back then you'd be lucky to get like, the normal album and then like a special album that went with it, or like a lot of times they'd release like one version of the album, and then you'd have like a special repackage of the album like some months later, which is the exact same thing with maybe a new single on it, or like maybe one or two versions, and that was it. Like there wasn't like oh, you got a black version and a white version. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a ton of them.
Maybe you'd have that. There'd be like 2 colors. Maybe there'd be like 3 different ones, but that was pretty much it. Now there's like so many different versions of the albums.
Well, I'm trying to even think back about like some of my old ones I'm looking at over here. Like even like the old Twice ones and stuff. I don't even remember there being like multiple versions of it. There's like one version of it.
I feel like, there'd be like a couple maybe. I feel like, yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't really remember seeing...
how many did Bloom Eyes...
Well, I was going to say, I don't really remember seeing any like multiple versions of stuff until Eyes One started putting out like different colors of their main albums.
Yeah.
That's when I noticed that they're like, oh, well, there's one version, but now there's 3 different versions. But
yeah.
Like, before that, it was like maybe 1, 2, if that.
Oh my gosh.
Then Eyes One, it's weird because you can notice like when certain groups will do one thing, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then like everybody does it. I'm trying to remember when the first time I saw a Jewel Case was.
I feel like that was not that long
ago. It wasn't that long ago. Maybe like a year or so
ago. Oh, I
love
love Jewel Cases.
For those you don't know, those are the ones where it's like specific for a member's face. So you can get like one member, and a lot of times you buy them and it's like randomized.
It's like
so you don't even know who you're going to get.
It's like old school CD case.
Yeah.
When like, I remember that used to be like the PS1 games. I mean, that's what like CDs came in. Were just like the literal, just like plastic ass thing that you just.
And now everybody does it for every.
So I'm sure that they had them actually back, but now they're like a thing again because again, it's a way to sell more albums technically and put the member's face on it, so then it makes it specific to those people's bias.
Because even like think about this. Pixie, not a huge group. Karma came out, right? The most recent one.
Yeah.
There's 2 versions of Karma, right?
Yeah.
And then there's 5 separate Jewel Cases, 1 for each member. So Justin, them by themselves, that's 7 different versions to get if you want a version of every single version of Karma to buy.
Yeah.
And that's for
Pixie.
A small group. Like, literally small, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how it would have been when Eyes One came out, because they didn't have Jewel Case. Kind of did.
They did with those ones.
Because that was the one where you ordered it, and you got a signed album, and each front cover was a random member.
Yeah.
So you didn't know who you were going to get. So you could buy 12 of them and try to get all 12 members, and literally get all 12 of the same person. Mm-hmm. You just don't know. And that's one version, and there's multiple versions of it.
Yeah.
So there's like upwards of 36 different versions that you could get of each of the albums if you wanted them.
Right.
So, I mean, that's by far something that's completely different, is K-pop really knows how to, on one hand, squeeze the money out of the fans, and on the other hand,
that's just what it
people
does.
are going to buy it, so it's not like it matters.
That's just what it does. That's what the whole thing's about. It's just about squeezing the money out of us, and that's just what they do. And it's kind of nonsense now almost for how many different types of... I just remember for this last Idol comeback, there were so many different album variations you could buy. And then there's the Jewel Cases, and there's this one or this one. This is like, that's so much, which again, like, you obviously have the choice to buy it or not, but like, a lot of people are hardcore fans where they're going to try and buy everything, and that's just like a ton. That's just like a lot
especially
of
multiple
albums,
copies of
especially
each one.
If you're trying to, collect photo cards and Then they have, of course, you're going to have a different version of the photo cards. And, like, think about, again,
that's another thing.
Well, yeah, that's just that's what, and that's like where the money is with the album is the photo card, right? Because like
Justin would know more about this than me.
Everyone just wants the photo card, but then you look at it and like again, using Pixie as a great example, being how tiny they are, like there's all the different versions from the album, and then there's like the versions you can get that are like the pre-orders from the different sites that they came from, which are all different photo cards. So you can only get those from pre-ordering from this certain site, or from ordering early from this site.
Or like there's special broadcast cards,
or like the special one from just the Jewel Case, or just the certain Karma album, or just like it's always specific. So you have to get those to try and get the chance to get the cards you want. But then you look at it too, and like the one Dia one in with her bangs. You can see where the photos were taken because the cards are so similar. She's just making like a different face or like a different hand gesture but just because the card is different, it makes you want it. Yeah. Because that's like, I don't have that one, so I need to get the Jewel Case. I need to get the pre-order one. I need to try and do this. So like, that's like what I think makes it like the albums is the people want the different photo cards, and if you want to collect your bias, there's so many different versions. But you're still trying to get it because you want to collect all the versions.
Like, tell me about your Momo collection.
I have all the Momo photo cards, just the Korean album ones.
And how many would you say there is of those?
I don't know. That's a good question. There's a lot. I have a lot of other ones from her, too, because she was, like, my ultimate bias for a little while there. I don't have the most recent comeback yet. I'm still working on those. But... Well, a good, like, so those ones I just stuck to, like, all right, I'm getting the ones from the albums that came out. That's it. The Korean albums that came out. We're not going to get all these special lucky draw, pre-order, blah, blah. We're not doing that because that's just...
Broadcast cards.
That's just too much. It's just too much. And so I was going to try and collect, like, other ones, like Kazuha or something. But then they just... Le Seraphim has so many different versions from so many different sites and so many... I gave up. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Can you tell from when you first started collecting the cards on albums? Also, my air conditioner's turned off. You guys can hear that.
Ooh, get that air going.
But can you tell from when you were collecting Momo cards when the newer groups came out, how many more there are to collect of just like the brand new groups compared to like the Momo ones when you started?
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like, again, like with the Seraphim, not that many albums out, but
I think I have 2.
There's just so much more from those single albums. There's just like more stuff you could get for them because they're just more merchandise for each comeback. Yeah, so that's why I was like, I'm not collecting Kazu. It's just too hard.
I think it's crazy when you think about it.
I don't want to keep up with it.
Because then you go to like the Pixie thing again, and there's cards that they're selling at the actual concert that if you didn't buy them, you'll never have those photo cards.
Yeah. I guess it's just like you have to draw your line or just like what you want to try and do. Or I mean, kudos to people, shout out to you who collect all the members of like a certain group because my gosh, that would be difficult. Like for any group, that'd be difficult for any.
Like I'm trying to get all the Dia cards right now, and there's some that are incredibly hard to find. And if you do find them, people are wanting like $70, $80, $90 for them. Like, yeah. Or they will not even sell them because they're so rare. And they will only trade you for the member they want of the same rarity because they're so hard to find.
Which is also, like, impossible to find.
Which I'm so like, okay, well, I can't find this, so how can just take my $100? Like,
I've never even seen this card. And, yeah, it's just... That's been really mind-blowing, is just the, I guess, variation of just products being sold. I mean, look at all the products in this room right now.
Well, it's like, think about it. Back in the day, we bought like an old school Red Velvet, like Bad Boy album, or
I know for some you get one photo card.
I was like, you get like one photo card, and there might be like 3 versions of that of Sogi, right?
Yeah.
Now a new group's gonna come out like Baby Monster when they debut. Guarantee you, there's gonna be like 10 different versions of them to collect for one member when they first come out.
Not doing that.
Like, I mean, it's like ridiculous. For each one card back in there, there's like 2 or 3 now for a member. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's unbelievable. But that's like one of the things that's like really noticeable is like the amount of merchandise is crazy.
It's just, yeah, and it really is like
But the problem is people buy it. Like us, we're stupid, we'll buy it.
Oh, that's the thing. I'm not going to not do it. It's just, I'm definitely going to spend money on it. I spent so much money this week on K-pop stuff.
Worth it.
Absolutely worth it because it's all one-of-a-kind things that no one else is going to ever have, But
at the same time...
It's a lot And
we're not really complaining about it. We're just saying there's a lot of stuff.
It's just things that are noticeable, but we just fall into it as well, and that's totally fine. Like, that's what it's kind of meant to do. But yeah, that's one of the big things too, is just the merchandise. I mean,
we'll even think about Inmix, right?
Yeah.
The first album that has Admire.
Yeah.
There's like one version of it, and that's all there was.
Yeah.
Then the next album came out, and there's more versions. Then Inmix. Then
well, they had jewel cases for the second one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then Intwerf came out. There's jewel cases for all of them. 2 different versions of the album, not including the big collectible one. So that's already like 6 times what the original print run was. And then Expurgo came out, and there's the exact same thing. So I mean, I don't know. It's just so hard to get all this stuff for one.
Well, and also,
and 2, it's just so much money.
It's so much, and it moves so quickly that it's like impossible to keep up with, especially when you're like standing multiple groups and you want to try and get stuff.
And you have like a full-time job and you have other stuff to do.
And it's just like, it's just a lot, which is totally cool because that's just how K-pop works as far as like the pace of it. But it does make it kind of tough to keep up with like every little thing of like, oh, what's this? Or like, what's this version? What's this? Like, it's just, it really is something that, and I only think we're just going to get more and more because why not? Like, there's just going to be
What's
more
really
and more
wild
stuff.
too is I remember seeing a couple Dia cards. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I think I got this one already. But it literally looks so similar that it was like a special card.
Mm-hmm.
No idea.
Yeah,
it was not the same one.
Yeah, you have to. You're like, oh, I have that, but it's just like, and that's the thing. It's like barely a different photo, but that's a whole card that you don't have because it's a whole different one.
I don't know. That's crazy.
And I guess just that goes along with like the accessibility of it too, which is I guess a big difference of what I've noticed in K-pop from when we started in it. Because I mean, literally, I mean, I really feel like, I mean, it hit me a while ago, but when we saw the K-pop albums in Walmart,
yeah,
that's like, okay, this is like the most available thing ever now. Like,
it is.
It's in Walmart now. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it was popped up in kind of, I think maybe Target was kind of the first store I saw it in, and then Barnes & Noble had a ton of albums. And then now, like, Walmart. I'm like, all right, well, K-pop's just, like, everywhere now. Like, there's no, I mean, we had to, when we started getting into K-pop, we literally had to get it from albums from, like, the H Mart, Fancy Pencil, like, the Korean supermarket in Chicago area.
That was literally all there was. Like,
that's the only place I remember albums. Like, this is the only place I really remember there being albums was at the... And that was, like, such a hit or miss thing because you didn't really know what their inventory was going to be. I'm pretty sure we could go tomorrow and still see albums I remember from years ago that were, like, super old or, like...
Oh, yeah, the accessibility's crazy. We were talking... Actually, last week's episode was Wetworks thing.
Oh, my favorite episode ever.
And they were talking about the accessibility of his girlfriend because she's a 1 in Jin.
Yeah.
And 2nd Jin.
She's going to be like, you guys have it so easy. I'm like, we know.
Which is
we're
true.
Just saying.
But yeah, the accessibility to buy things is a lot different.
It's different for, I mean, I just remember that was like the main place we could get albums. And then, maybe like online, obviously you could. But now, I mean, yeah, we could go to, I mean, you bought this little Seraphim one from Target. Like,
yeah.
You could go there.
Well, here's the other thing that's crazy. Target has exclusive albums you can only get at Target.
Yep. And that's all only exclusive stuff
and
that's in those.
And it comes with exclusive photo cards from
Yes,
that.
it does. Yeah, there you go. Like, the places that sell them are getting their own types of photo cards that you can only get from buying them from those places.
I remember the first time someone told me you could get albums from Barnes & Noble, and I was like, what? That's crazy. Then I went there.
Barnes & Noble had a lot,
and it was
too.
just BTS and Blackpink, and now they have all kinds of people.
They had lots of people when I saw it the one time. And that was like the one in Springfield, too. Like, there was just K-pop albums everywhere. That's like one of the biggest things for me is just the accessibility of buying albums is just like crazy now. I mean, again, it blew my mind. I was like, I could walk into Walmart and buy this NCT album. I never thought I'd see the day.
That's true, because I mean, you're right. Back in the day, we'd take like monthly trips to H Mart, 'cause that's the only place we knew that had albums. Just
and
to hope that they had the album.
Hope that they would have someone that we would want, because a lot of times they didn't, because they just never knew about the inventory, and obviously other people are going there to buy stuff too. So
and it was wild because if you wanted something like on release, like when it came out, not a chance. You have to wait like 2-3 weeks while it got shipped in.
Yeah, it was really. I mean, it was hard to get albums back in the day, or else we just have to get them from like online.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get them from literally anywhere now, so it's It's not hard.
Like, there's albums online on Target you can buy that aren't even available in the stores.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. JYP got... Well, there's a lot of... I mean, it started... there was, like, Blackpink there, and, I mean, now there's a lot of people there. There was, well, obviously BTS, Seraphim,
or you can hit up
ITZY.
your friendly local Cork STL.
Yeah, because you're going to get everything there. I was shocked that they had the Binky Bone, but they got them.
And if you follow their Instagram page, they've got, like, a ton of, I guess you want to say, new merchandise alerts when they get anything new in.
I think that's super cool,
like,
right?
new releases. So,
Yeah.
like, you're like, oh, hey, hold this for me, or, oh, I'll order, I'll come get it. And they ship worldwide, so...
No, that was the cool thing about that. Their Instagram at Cork is like, oh, inventory alert, and it's like showing you the new stuff that they got in. I was actually looking at one the other
And I mean,
day.
they get like this stuff like right, like on almost release.
Yeah.
So I mean, they are ahead of the game when it comes to getting stuff out.
They had.
And their shipping's really fast. Justin ordered something from the other day and just got it like
yeah.
a couple days later.
Shout out to the fast shipping. They had. What'd they have the other? They had like the Idol for the newest Idol album. Like they had some jewel cases and they look really cool. So I was like, well, whenever we go again, I'm gonna have to get one because why not? They look awesome, and I love the jewel cases. Because I'm a sucker.
Hey,
We all are though. It's okay.
I mean, it is. That's what happens. Having a bias does for you. I'm like, I always think back in my head, and I'm like, man, I wish I could have got so many Sungyoung jewel cases for CLC. But then I'm like, it doesn't matter because they didn't
They
exist.
didn't.
So I could not.
I was
do
like,
that.
when I'm trying to think of that. Like, how many did the No album? Was that just one? Was
Yeah.
it one No album?
Yep.
I'm trying to think of the CLC albums. What?
Only one helicopter album. Only one black dress album.
Yeah.
Only one Cristal album.
Yeah. No, Idol has like 18 different versions.
Yeah, I know, right?
Of one, which I mean, they're doing really well, so I get it.
I remember that one that I bought. Korean dad told me, he's like, yeah, this is like super exclusive, like limited print run edition of it. And I'm like, I didn't even know this existed.
What
And I
was
looked
it?
it up online. It was like sold out because it literally was like an exclusive Idol album that was only like a limited print run.
Yeah.
Or like the aespa one I gave you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was
That
like
was
a
really
limited
cool.
one. It was like an actual CD case kind of thing.
That was really cool. Yeah, it was like not jewel case, but still like kind of plastic.
I don't know, but I don't even know how they find them because like I went there, I didn't even know that existed. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with, honestly.
I'm trying to think what else.
I mean, that's probably the biggest difference.
Also, I will say the amount of practice videos and behind the scenes stuff they put up is way more prevalent compared to what it used to be.
I feel like there is just overall more content.
It's like, yeah, before we get like a music video, and later on, if it did really well, they'd be like, hey, it's a practice video, like, you know, for our main track.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like practice video for B-sides, every B-side, music videos for multiple tracks, or they're promoting multiple different tracks on music shows.
Yeah.
Like before, you really didn't do that too much. It's like you promoted the one, and now it's like, oh, we promoted one, now we're going to promote this B-side, and here's a music video for the B-side. Or like, some of them put out like 2 or 3 music videos. And it's not just the title track, it's like random stuff.
Which that definitely never was a thing. It was always just like just title track, and that's what you're getting. And now there's like the practice vid, but then there's like the performance vid.
There's like the steady cam vid.
Then there's like, which is like the
moving cam vid.
Then it's like almost quality of a music video, but it's not. And they're like on the set in the same outfits, but it's the performance.
Also, I
not
will
the
say on
video.
this same note, maybe I didn't notice it as much, but I feel like when I first started getting into K-pop and watching all the videos and stuff, the amount of fan cams didn't really exist that there are now. Now they've like dedicated fan cams to people at every show.
I swear that was not a thing, right? When we started, like the
I just remember
the actual
Hani got really popular for fan cam with
Right.
her, but I do not remember there being individual fan cams of every single member for
I don't
every
either.
performance ever.
from like actual like Mnet, like
Or
on
like
the
actual
official
sites.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. I don't remember.
I
that.
feel like if there was, I would have watched a lot of fan cams of certain idols. Not naming names.
I don't remember that.
But
either.
I do not remember that at all. And we watch a lot of YouTube. That's where we found our content. That's where we found like Weekly Idol. That's where we found all the other stuff. But I do not remember that being a thing. Now it's like everywhere. Fan cams everywhere of everybody.
Yeah, like you're right. It's like official from the actual.
Like Mnet. Or
Mnet, somebody else. It's like
Inky Gaia fan cams. Just them. It's like their own
the
camera.
person, and they got their own, which is a great idea because that's just gonna that's just easy views right there. I feel like they just realized like the more they can kind of spread out everything, or just the more of everything, people will consume it. So that's like kind of our difference. It's just more of everything in a way.
Pretty much. It's definitely grown a lot since we got into it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's people who don't even know anything about K-pop know a couple, like, oh, Blackpink.
I was gonna say, I feel like people
Or
just kind of.
Butter.
I feel like people kind of like know K-pop as like a thing.
Like it exists.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
enough for
yeah,
them to be like, I don't like it, or I think it's stupid. But like, you know what it is if you don't like it.
I think they're just like, oh yeah, I never really listened to it, or like, oh really K-pop? Like I never thought you'd be a fan of that or something.
But back in the day when I tell people about it,
yeah,
they'd just be like, oh, I've never heard it.
They're like what?
There's Korean pop music, and now it's just like, oh yeah, I heard a BTS song once on a commercial, or oh, I saw BTS won a Grammy.
Which I
or
mean,
something.
like a lot of that is them doing what they were doing. It's just like people knowing, and kind of Blackpink doing what they're doing.
They're like, oh, didn't Blackpink
and
just
being
play
at
like
Coachella? Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
But it is just more of a known, a widely known thing. I don't want to say like kind of like norm, but it kind of is. I mean,
it's getting more normal.
It's just like a oh yeah, that's just like a type of music in a way. Because I remember,
to be like that.
I don't remember what music videos, but I remember it would be when Twice would have a comeback. Everyone would be pumped about like trying to break like the YouTube views
record
for like a girl, like, and that was like they did it. And then Blackpink would have a comeback, and then it would break it. And now all that's just kind of gone out the window because there's so many views on everything that it's just like I don't remember that even really being like a thing anymore. Like also, I remember it would be like such a big deal. It's like, oh, Twice got this many views and blah blah blah. And then it's like now it just I'm like it doesn't even matter because everyone's just getting such an astronomical amount of views.
This also is a good point. We were talking about this the other day. This might make people angry, but that's life. Life makes people angry. I was talking to Justin about how I feel like when we first started, that in general, like fandoms were so much different than what they are now. Like the fandoms for groups were like hardcore fans of that one group, and that's all they talked about or supported. They'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard like a Red Velvet song, but like I'm a once. That's what, like, first and foremost, we're gonna break all these records. I'm dedicating my time and effort to like streaming these videos.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's just like everybody knows everybody in passing, and they might like one group more than another group, but there's not a lot of people I talk to that's like, oh, this is my one group. They're like this, except for Alan. If you listen to this, Alan, he's a hardcore Dreamcatcher fan. Like,
so he says.
You don't see it like that anymore compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, I guess that kind of just goes back to there's just like so much.
Yeah.
So it's like you just like a lot of stuff.
And well, I mean, it's fine. It is. But it's like the fandoms just are not what they used to be back when.
Yeah, I feel like
we got into it.
I feel like it could just be kind of a looser term of like.
Yeah, I feel like
the
it's
words,
lost a lot of
the
meaning.
word "stan" or like "I'm in this fandom" is like, what does that really mean? Like you like two of the songs that they have.
Or like the last comeback was cool.
You like, and you just got into it. This like. And I mean, I guess that's fine, but it is a little different than what we...
I wouldn't say... I guess I could say nowadays, I feel like when people say it or mention it, it's way more watered down than what it used to be.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Because, I mean, there was times when I talked to random people online through our K-pop account,
yeah,
or like stuff, and they were like hardcore. Like, I only listen to Red Velvet, or I only listen to Twice. Or Twice is promoting, we need to break these records. I refuse to listen to anybody else or, like, you know, help another group out while we're trying to break, like, this 24-hour record mark, you know? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, like, this. Like, every member, that's all they cared about was this one group. Which, I mean, is fine if you want to multi-stand, because we've always been multi-stands. Obviously, we like our groups.
Always.
Certain ones we like more than others, but we always listen to multiple groups. But, I mean, there was, like, hardcore, like, onces.
Yeah.
So much in the I don't even know if they exist anymore, but so much they used to have their anti-group, the Thrices.
Yeah, do they?
And they like dedicated their life.
Do those people exist anymore?
To not liking Twice by supporting them and buying their stuff, which make no sense.
If those people still exist, then honestly, kudos to you on being such big haters because, like, obviously your effort is losing. So,
but it's almost like
like
it was almost like a weird, like, not really negative thing. But it's like people thought, like, if I supported Red Velvet, that's taking away from Twice, and I need Twice to be the best.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's just like, I'll give a little money to Twice, and I'll give some to Red Velvet. I'll help both of them out. Yeah. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like that back when we first got into it.
No, I definitely feel like it is more of a like, fandom, and overall is just kind of It's just like broad now.
And nowadays, we were having a discussion because I remember someone was telling me a story, or I heard it somewhere. We're talking about, I don't remember if it was EXO or Super Junior, but to actually get into their fandom. Like nowadays, you can get a membership, and anybody can be a member of any fandom, anything. Just pay the money, get the cards, you're in the fandom, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, you had there's like different levels you had to pass to be considered a fandom in the fandom.
That's pretty cool.
And one was like knowing each of the members' birthdays from like oldest to youngest. And it was like a test you had to take to go to the next level.
That's pretty cool.
Like if you were gonna be a fan, you had to be like a fan. Like your life was dedicated to this group.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I don't think you have to go that far because that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
just
if you're gonna be a fandom in the fandom,
it's just different.
Or fan in the fandom, that's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely not like that anymore.
No. Nope. It's just more broad. It really is.
And like I said, there's so many people coming out. It's like everybody wants to be on the brand new thing.
Well, that's what gets kind of like...
And it's like people are staying in groups and claiming they're like the best before they even debut.
Or like... Yeah.
Like Idol.
Yeah, I know, right? That was... I've still never really experienced a debut like that I can remember. When Idol was the greatest girl group of all time, other than Girls' Generation.
I remember it.
The best debut since Girls' Generation. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because people knew who Soyeon was. I was like, where is this coming from? And we just did not really like them the most because of CLC. But at the same time, we were like, okay, Latata's like an okay song. Like, what are we doing here?
Craziness.
Like, why is this the greatest girl group of all time? I missed it. Can you explain it to me? I don't know why.
You know, I was thinking the one thing I could compare to like the old school fandoms is like BTS armies and how they just are all about BTS all the time.
Yeah.
That's what it was like, but for your favorite group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't intermingle. In between the lines, there's only enemies. There's no friends until the game's over.
I mean, yeah. The armies do a good job. They're definitely dedicated to BTS.
And that's what it was like for everybody.
Kudos to them.
I don't know. It's crazy to think. Now it's like you just name groups and people are like, oh yeah, I listen to the songs. Oh, it's on my playlist.
Oh, I just feel like people are just... I mean, it probably goes with like other stuff too, but people just really try to be different.
For the sake of being different.
And catch on to things before... Because they know people don't really know what this is yet, so they're just going to kind of claim that it's like their thing, so then they can seem like they're...
Oh, I knew this from the beginning.
So like, oh, stand the talent of this group, blah, blah, blah. Because they know like no one really knows it, so it's like easy money. Yep. Oh, look at me, I know this thing and you don't, and I'm telling you how great they are because I know and you don't. I feel like that vibe kind of goes around. Just trying to like know more things than other people.
Everyone always wants to be like, has this FOMO of missing out on things.
And so they want to be like the
FOMO
first,
means.
And then it's just like...
So they want to hop on and be the first person to do it before it catches on and everybody like loves it.
Yeah. But then it's not really like a lose at all for them because then if no one really like... If it doesn't catch on and it doesn't really get big... It's not like anyone's been like, you were wrong, blah, blah. You kind of just move on.
Yeah.
You just go to the next thing that you're like, oh, this, blah, 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 the talent stand,
We were also
blah,
talking
blah,
about, back in the day, it was really cool. Like, I mean, very rare for someone not to like Red Velvet, not to like Twice, not to like Blackpink. Because those were like the big three groups out there were, right, for girl groups.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody talked about, it's like, oh, yeah, I love Red Velvet. Oh, yeah, I've loved Twice since, like, Likey or Signal or something. Nowadays, I see people post on Reddit all the time who like want to like groups that are not them because they're too mainstream.
Yeah.
It's weird because being a mainstream group was not a bad thing back in the day. Now it's like apparently bad.
Which I don't know. I feel like K-pop was always something where like you kind of like the mainstream people.
You like the popular people. That's how it works.
You like all the people in a way. Like you like the main groups and all that. Like I never understood. I never really understood that one.
But now it's like liking the mainstream popular people is not the way to go. So people want to be different. And like, even though I saw a post, if you're listening to this, sorry, but they were like asking for examples of new groups to listen to that sounded like Twice and LE SSERAFIM and Red Velvet, but were not them. And I'm like, if you want to listen to that, just listen to them.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna think you're like less edgy or cool because you're not listening to Twice.
Yeah, I don't really think the whole like edginess or cool thing because you're trying to be ahead of everyone. I don't know if that really works in K-pop.
Somewhere around...
Like, it's totally cool to just like the most popular people.
And like somewhere around COVID, it became super cool to try to be edgy and different and not like what everyone else likes.
I have noticed a lot of people seem to have gotten into K-pop during COVID.
A ton.
I'm not sure if like...
the more
I'm not
time
sure
I
if like
give
all the companies were like, all right, YouTube, we're paying you all this money, and you're gonna put these videos, certain videos, in algorithms for people. You know what I mean? And like here, and they're gonna see like, oh, what is this EXO? What is this BTS? Like, and click on it and be like, boom, everyone falls in the K-pop hole of YouTube. But I feel like a lot of people definitely, whatever during the lockdowns or whatever it was going on, I feel like that was a time when a lot of people came to K-pop, was just during the pandemic. I don't know the reason.
I mean, I can tell you, so there's a bunch.
Maybe just because everyone's online more, because no one else.
There's
had
a
anything
bunch
to
of
really do.
podcasts that happened during that time. Like, I mean, a ton.
Yeah.
Like hundreds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them would message me, and I'd be like, "Oh, listen to this, blah 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 blah." I'm like, they don't exist anymore. But I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll go listen. I'll go check it
Just
out,
because
whatever."
everyone was just like chilling, I guess.
It's because everyone would hop on this K-pop train. That was kind of a big thing happening. You know what I'm saying? And they would take off, get that easy money from the beginning, which it really wasn't. 'Cause,
like,
I mean,
like getting so big in the West, which I feel like that's done, right?
yeah, I think that's.
I think
I wouldn't
that-
say it's done, but I mean, it's not
Well, I
going to
don't-
boom like what it was when it first happened.
Yeah, no, it's definitely still going to keep being a growing thing.
Like
but
the easy
if I
money
see
of
something,
capitalizing on it's not there.
yeah,
anymore.
I feel like if it's just like, whoa, this crazy thing from Korea and America, and it's like, all right, we're kind of beyond that, because like it is a very well known thing throughout the whole world, and it's a very well known thing throughout the United States of America. It's not.
Well, I was gonna say, so they.
I mean,
I'd listened to the first episodes, and a lot of them got into it through BTS.
right?
But they said they're just sitting at home during COVID, had nothing to do,
Mhm.
and like they click on a random video on YouTube, like everybody,
I'm telling you,
and they're like, "Oh, this is kind of cool," and they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize this Korean music, blah blah blah." I just kind of listened to it,
right?
and then they just kind of liked
Just-
the other videos, and then they just discovered it.
I'm telling you, big hit.
Apparently, a
Paid
couple
money.
weeks later, they wanted to start a podcast because they're huge fans,
Yeah.
and then 10 episodes later, they're gone.
R.I.P. I'm Big Hit paid millions of YouTube to throw those suggestions in, the BTS suggestions into the YouTube like algorithm, and that's, people clicked it, and here we are.
I will say too, I don't want to toot our own horns here, but we do our podcast weekly, so everybody can enjoy it and listen to us talk, which is kind of weird to me still, but whatever. But at the same time, if I looked at our like stats and our listens and it was like 0, we'd still be doing this.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's what we like to do. We like K-pop.
Yeah, I guess we.
Like, we're not in it for the money. We're not in it for anything. We just want to talk about K-pop because that's what we like.
Yeah.
So it's not like we
We've
like
liked it for a
hopped
long
on a
time
bandwagon to like try to get money or like try to like get known for knowing like about K-pop. Because if no one listened to us, we'd
there's
still be
no-
doing this right now.
There's no. I mean, I guess what would you say? Like, there's no clout chasing here. There's no.
There's no like
to,
secret motive.
There's no trying to rise above the ranks and be such and such better than anybody else. There's no, oh, we need to like be the greatest podcast. No,
I can tell you right now, we're not better than any other K-pop.
we're
podcast.
just having,
we're just out here
we're just
trucking.
having fun and saying our observations and liking our biases and groups. Honestly, that's pretty much like any other K-pop fan who just loves their biases, loves their groups, and tries to support them. That's all we do too. And I mean, we both enjoy it, so obviously that common interest is like what powers the podcast through, is because we both like it. We both have the people we like, and we've met a lot of friends through it too. So that's always awesome too. Like, it's just been fun. And we always said if we're not having fun, we're not going to do it. But here we are, almost 200 episodes later.
It's pretty close.
Still having fun, so that's why we
But
do
yeah,
it.
so I mean,
yeah,
we-
we just do this for anybody who wants to listen. If you don't, that's totally cool too.
And that's why everything we offer to you is free.
Yeah,
No paywalls.
no paying here. We don't even know what we'd offer with that.
I lose a
All
lot
the-
of money by paying for a lot of things to give to people.
All the not drink energy drinks we'll send you, I guess. That
But yeah,
could be the
that's just the things. Like during COVID, and boom, people found it. I feel like a lot of them tried to
I just feel like the
hop
whole
on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I feel like the whole like,
during COVID.
wow, this crazy foreign thing from Korea in the United States blowing up, K-pop, blah blah blah. I feel like that's done.
Well, here's what's weird.
I feel like that's done.
When those people
Even though-
discovered during COVID, it was new to them.
Yeah.
But for us, it was not.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
we've already been listening to it
Oh
for
no!
like 2-3
I mean, we
years
were
before
about
that.
a 3 year ahead, and this podcast started before the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, way before it.
So
And anybody else who, like, was super into it had already been into it before COVID happened.
yeah,
So all this new stuff people are trying to capitalize on and listen to has already been done. Like, it's not...
yeah. I mean, we were before that. Podcast was before it. So I mean, K-pop was a huge thing for us during the pandemic, just because it was like something that
to do.
to do and like bring some joy and just like something to talk about, and obviously it was tough for everyone who like in the world dealing with the pandemic, but like K-pop still powered through and groups were able to have comebacks and stuff like that. So that was still cool just to be able to like have something to look forward to. So I mean that was a big reason why like it could make the pandemic just a little bit more manageable because it was like something enjoyable.
I'm also not really sure where this conversation is going at this point, but
just talking.
another thing that I noticed a lot of that should be very obvious to everybody: the amount of K-pop shows coming over here, the amount of concerts,
Yeah.
unbelievably large amount.
It's just,
to,
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, it's just like the norm now. Like,
because what was it when we first got into it? There's like maybe 2 or 3 a year.
I don't really know because we'd have to go back and look. Because I feel like this whole K-pop thing has actually been like in America has been going on for a little while before. Because I mean, when was the Nine Muses documentary made? Like,
A long time ago.
That was a long time. Because I remember that was the whole thing at BBC when they made that. They're like, this thing, K-pop, taking over the world. And that was, what, like 2009?
Yeah.
2000, something like that. So, like, obviously, that's years before we even got into it. So, I guess that's what I'm like, when is that stop of, like, when I think it's done. But it's, like, this whole taking over the world. Because I think it already has.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean?
already spread a lot, honestly.
So, but
let's just say I don't think there's going to be a huge wave of people getting hit by, the Hallyu wave is here. Like, bam, BTS are back again. 80,000 new fans in America. Like, that's not going to happen.
I don't know. I just don't think that, which, I mean, people may probably present it that way. Mainly, like, probably, like, newscasting. Because that's what, like, the BBC was doing with the Nine Muses thing. Because, like, people just didn't know what it was and how groups were formed and companies and how it all worked. So it was, like, this, again, this, like, kind of foreign thing that people were like, whoa, that's so different than how we do music here. So, but it's just, I don't know. It's just a different thing. And then a lot of K-pop artists now collab with
like
Western
American
artists or artists from
India,
other parts of the world. Like, so it really is just like a global team effort here. So, and like we said before, like people know what K-pop is. They just know. I mean, Blackpink played at
Coachella multiple times,
like as one of the main acts.
And now this year, Lollapalooza, multiple groups are headlining from Korea.
Yeah, New Jean's first American appearance is going to be at Lollapalooza.
And that same night, the headliner's The Rose.
The Rose is going to be at one of the main stages.
Then Saturday, the headliner's TXT.
TXT has like an hour and a half set. So
I mean,
I think K-pop's doing just fine here in the United States. And a lot of people are going to be at Lollapalooza. I mean, we're going to Lollapalooza just for that reason. So
I don't remember what we were talking about.
I don't remember.
Fandoms.
Yeah.
Fandoms, standing. Not what it used to be.
I think it's just so much now that you just...
Honestly, I will give you mad props if you're a fandom of one group and you stand that group super hard and that's the only person you like.
I know. That's
like impossible.
I like give you mad props and I'm also like, how? You know
like,
what I mean?
I literally denounced me listening to any comebacks and supporting any other groups until Pixie wins their first show award. And we were literally watching a video with another group hosting a Pixie. And I'm like, man, is it time to just listen to some other groups?
I mean, we are just so weak. It's horrible.
It's a weird thing. I mean, like I said, I'm not hating on the people who like multi-fans or like aren't super hardcore in the fandom. Because, I mean, I'm not either. Justin's not either. It's like, it's all of us.
Yeah.
All these problems. Is this just me self-imposing myself on other
I know.
people?
It's just all my fault.
But
maybe
no,
it is.
But yeah, if you like look around my room right now, I've got InMix posters. I got this weird banner thing of Dreamcatcher
Why is
up
that
here.
still hanging up? We gotta take that down.
I gotta move
we gotta put Dreamcatcher.
I got a bunch of Pixie stuff over here. I got a Dreamcatcher light stick.
Can we return that?
I've got pictures of WJSN, CLC, like albums from like groups people listening to this right now I've never heard of before.
There's definitely
Idol on a wall flag.
How many people?
Eyes one on a
How many people are represented in this room?
Like groups or just in general?
Just probably groups in general. I mean, how many people are
probably
represented?
20 plus.
Yeah, probably 20, probably 30 plus groups represented.
Like, I don't know how many people listen to this right now know what Goo Goo Dolls is or DIA.
Just this.
ILI.
Yeah.
Even Eyes One. How many people listen to know who Eyes One are?
That's actually gonna make me feel really old. If people are like, "Who?" I'm like, come on now.
And they got Oh My Girl
They're not
over here,
that
WJSN. I mean, I got a ton of people. Yeah, that's
there's
just like
over 30 people represented in just this room.
And here's the thing. We know so much about all of these groups. It's not like we just know them in passing. Like, we know so much about any of them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, really. I always say to myself, I don't have enough room in my brain and my heart for 10 more girls, and here we are.
I know. It's just like amazing how many more like idols I know more than actual people. It's a crazy stat, but it's true. And you're just like, oh man, another group, and then it's like, boom, they're the best, love them.
I've talked to Dia and the rest of Pixie more this year than I've talked to literally 90% of my family. So I mean, take that for what it's worth.
Let me tell you, Brett's not worth talking.
Let me tell you, I would not drive 9 hours plus to go see anyone in my family. It's not because I don't like them. It's just because I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Now, if someone's like, hey, 16-hour drive right now, Pixie's playing California, I'm like, I'm in. Let's go.
I am so excited for whatever tour they have next.
I will run there.
Let me tell you, I am so excited for whatever tour Pixie has next.
I am part of the Watered Down fandom and stand.
Where is the where's the signing up for the Winksy actual thing?
I will say, I think, me personally, the closest I ever got to solo standing anyone before I met Pixie, because that's my only group I stand now.
I am a solo stand.
I am a solo stand now. So, would probably be when we first got into K-pop and we had Red Velvet.
Yeah.
Because first off, that's one of the only groups I knew for a long time besides 4 Minute. And that's like all I listened to is Red Velvet. Like a lot of people did if they got into it. We got a bunch of Red Velvet stuff, Red Velvet posters, Red Velvet albums. I think the only songs I had on my playlist were just Red Velvet songs. Mm-hmm. In View by Shiny.
Well, it was definitely, Summertime.
But I was SM stan.
SM, yeah. Maybe I still am SM stan. I don't know. Red Velvet, was the first group I actually, stand...
Like stand...
fully.
Like, in all terms of, the word stand.
It was the first... It was, again, we've said it before, Hate was the group that... Or Hate was the song that got me, lured in. And then Ice Cream Cake, Dreamcatcher 2015 performance. That was, the moment of, well, I'm just... dedicated to K-pop for the rest of my life. So Red Velvet.
What is this, and how can I make my entire life about this? Peter Griffin.
No, that's just. It's so true. That's funny. He's watching Sistar. It's so true though, and Red Velvet was the first standing group, so they'll always have that, always a special place because of that. But yeah, that's. It is interesting too how people had kind of the same. Crossroad, different ways to get there, but they're oh, Ice Cream Cake. And it's hey, me too. And it's just a completely different way that they found it. But I think Red Velvet is that group for a lot of people.
Even
we need to have another how'd you get into it episode.
Even when I was really into CLC and it was my favorite group forever.
Yeah.
I still liked other groups. We listened to other groups all the time. Promise.
Yeah.
Goo Goo Dolls, IOI.
Yeah. Oh, I never.
Oh My Girl.
I couldn't be. It's just. There's just too many people. I couldn't be.
We listened to all of them. We loved all of them.
Yeah.
Blackpink.
Mm-hmm.
ITZY. All those people. They all came around and CLC was still around.
Yeah.
And I liked all of them, and I love CLC. But in terms of just being a super solo stan for one group for a period of time, it's definitely Red Velvet when he first got into K-pop.
I'd say that's pretty true.
And then Pixie now, 2023.
Pixie is definitely hitting a
5-member groups. Who'd have thought?
The 5 people really is just the best number. Who would have thought?
I'm trying to think of some other stuff that's different. Oh, one thing we always talk about. I feel maybe it's just because I don't watch a lot of the newer group stuff. Although I do skim it sometimes because we look for videos to watch.
Yeah.
Did you not make the rookie fun videos like they used to? When they had IOI and Goo Goo Dolls and even Weki Meki we watched.
Yeah, where they literally just follow
or
them
WJ Simmons in their dorms and they follow them around doing random stuff.
I feel K-pop's just such a fancy thing now. Everything's so fancy and nice and everything's so perfectly well done all the time.
Even Cherry Bullet, when you watch the Cherry Bullet one.
Yeah, that's true. That was a real kind of 2015 to
it was a behind the scenes
kind of 19 vibe, maybe 18.
Filming them in their dorm, just having fun, doing random everyday stuff with a phone camera. You know what I'm saying?
It's just kind of, I guess, it's an evolution of
even
variety. They did variety. And one girl, what was it when the girl hated the other girl?
The one girl hated.
She wouldn't. Nancy or something.
No, she hated
Yangwoo.
On.
She like couldn't be in the room with her. She had to like get a new roommate.
She was like, I hope it's just not her. And then she walked in and she goes, you were disappointed, weren't you? Because the other girl came in and they're like jumping up and down and hugging.
Literally the one thing I remember from whatever show that was.
That was Finding Momo, man.
Yeah, that was like, and when they were horrible, and then the one guy was told Jan, he was like, well, at least you look like Tsui because you were bad at everything else.
I'll never forget the one
I was
guy.
Like, goodness, dude.
And he was just like, this is worse than a high school talent show. Why did we have to watch this?
Them. My gosh.
But yeah, they don't make the dorm fun rookie videos like they used to anymore.
I think everything's just so fancy now. It's just like everything's so, I don't know.
Well, like think about the New Jeans ones we watched. They're like so well produced.
New Jeans is just like instant stardom. So it's like, oh,
like the Seraphim.
Here's your first video at the Gucci fashion show. And I'm like, what? What is this grind now? They're like already made it. That's crazy.
Going back to something we said a little bit ago, I do also feel like a lot of groups, when they first come out, are way more popular than what they were.
I think that's a big reason.
When groups started debuting back in the day.
Like they're kind of just already at a huge level of success.
Yeah. And if they don't hit it off like right off the bat, it's just like, well, hopefully the next comeback's okay. Then if it's not great, it's like, all right, yeah, forget about that.
It is kind of scary that, yeah, if you don't have like a ginormous debut
or a huge backing company,
it's like oh gosh, like this might not be good.
Yeah.
That's the thing about like NMIX. Like NMIX had a really weird debut. They just did. Those songs are weird. I still don't think they're that great. And it was just so different because that's what they were going for. But you're like, I mean, we said it before we even really liked them or stand them because we stand NMIX. We're like, we'll get there because they're at JYP. They'll be fine. Like the music will come. They'll have awesome songs. We know the members are awesome. Like JYP, you know they're good because it's that company.
Yeah. And
other places you're like, uh-oh.
Like, oh, can they financially
I mean, I'm pretty sure even before we really liked Pixie as much as we do, when we saw that Sapio left, we were like, uh-oh.
When I saw that they were down,
we were like, uh-oh. Like they had some. I remember talking about it, and we didn't really even know that much. We're like, they had someone else leave. That's not good. Like that's a bad sign. Who knows? Like they might be done because we did like their music, and we knew that was happening. So it just. I mean, yeah. If you're from a big company, you're good. If you're a debuting hype group, have fun being a celebrity for the rest of your life. Like you're good. You're fine.
Shout out to me putting in chat that Wings was Song of the Year 2 days after it came out, and then it just did nothing, and their members left.
Yeah, Wings is such a good song. It's so good. But yeah, I mean, obviously the big company groups, you'll always congrats to those people because you're good. You're fine. Baby Monster will be a huge group. You'll be fine.
What else happens? Oh, okay, so we talked about this a long time ago. Sorry, by the way, this is a really long episode.
Well, yeah, it's okay. This is just the discussion.
But
this is
one thing we always talked about, because we came from like a metalcore, like hardcore screamo kind of background, where the fandoms of those are like the fans, like oh, if you don't listen to the whole album, like you're not a real fan. You know what I'm saying? Like listen to all 12 tracks, or did you not hear the first EP they released from like Mom's Basement in 2005 before they made it big?
That was like recorded on like iPod Shuffle.
Like that was how it was, right? Like people were like, if you don't know every single thing, it's like, oh yeah, I'm super into like Knuckle Puck. And like, okay, we'll name their like 3 biggest hits and the 3 biggest B-sides off their second album they put out, you know?
Right.
And we're like, you know what? It's kind of cool that in K-pop you just like the main song and that's it. Like you just like the title tracks.
Yeah. I do think
shit nowadays. Everybody's like, if you don't listen to the B-sides, you're missing out on a lot of stuff. Like that's like they promote B-sides now.
I think that is a thing for sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like people listen to their whole albums now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is the best song on the whole EP. Or like, oh, did you listen to these other 2 B-sides they had? And it's like, back in the day, if you like listened to Likey from Twice, that's all you had to listen to. Who cares if you listen to the other 7 songs? Nobody cared.
No, that's true. Which is cool because a lot of the times, which we've said millions of times, you're going to get a B-side that you might like more than the title track like easily. Like the B-sides of K-pop are like amazing. Like we have some of our favorite songs are B-sides.
Yeah, it is. But it's just like weird because
cool
like, back in the day, like no one ever cared or listened to them.
That is something that's cool is like they do kind of promote it more and do more with more of their material, which I always thought was a little strange when we got into it, like you said. I was like, mainly because we came from that band background where I don't know. I feel like they did more with their songs, like different songs, or trying to show off their different. I'm like, K-pop, they don't do that. They have their main one, and that's what they do. They go perform it, and they're done. Like now, it's cool because they're actually trying to like showcase more of their discography, which is like super good.
Oh, well, I was just saying, in terms of like,
Yeah.
people don't think you're a real fan unless you listen to the entire album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, did you hear this B-side? You're like, no, I didn't listen to it. They're like, well,
so it's like weird.
The comeback?
Yeah,
I'm like, what's that have to do with the comeback?
It's like weird because it's like fandom's watered down, but it's like not.
But it's like more intensified.
It's like more intensified while being watered down.
Like you could be a watered down fan of like Dreamcatcher and only like their last comeback, but somehow you're consider yourself a bigger fan because you listen to every song on the album when all we listened to was like the title track.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird.
Yeah. The dynamic of it. I guess people kind of like gatekeep it.
They do. That's a big thing in K-pop is
gatekeep it, and it's like.
I feel like that wasn't a huge thing either back in the day. It's like, oh, you like Twice? Well, you like all the title tracks? Welcome in. You're a once. You know, like let's go stand these guys together. Now it's like, okay, this is your quiz. 10 questions, 30 seconds. If you don't answer them, you're not here. You're not into it like we are. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. They definitely gatekeep a lot of stuff in K-pop now.
Yeah.
Well, certain people do.
Yeah. I mean, we see it like every day.
I see it all the time.
It can get very not fun because that's not fun for anybody. Like at the end of the day, it's like, well, like people can enjoy what they want to enjoy, you know, and you're not gonna like, you can't really tell them either way. Like, well, you need to be this or need to be that or blah blah blah. So, I mean, it's cool to see K-pop as big as it is. But at the same time, it's kind of just the same to us in a way of like how we like it, how we kind of approach it because it's how we've approached it the whole time of just like how we like the certain groups we like and that's what we roll with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously we're always down to learn about new people and like going to see new people and all that stuff. So that's always very cool.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people listening to this. They're like, oh, you said you like this group, but you didn't listen to this album or you didn't like this B-side or listen to this comeback. Not legitimate podcast. And I'd be like, no,
you're right. Duh. We
not at all.
know that. Gosh.
Don't tell us. No news to us.
This person, like, you didn't know this person's second cat's name that they got with their family? How dare you? It's like, well, sorry.
I don't know. It's crazy. Fans are crazy.
K-pop
really.
is a crazy thing.
It just moves really fast.
It's just, it blows my mind how big it is. I still don't really know why, but it's awesome. I mean, we're in it as much as we can be. I don't know why. It came from this tiny little country across the world, and here we are.
It's true.
And, yeah, we got 1 million tours on the way that, like, will generate lots and lots of money. I don't know. It's fun, though. We like it.
It's true. I mean,
I feel like I had another point, but I totally forgot what it was.
That's okay. I mean, this is going to be like an hour and a half long episode anyways.
I remember we used to have episodes this long, like, every time.
Yeah, we did. Those are the days. We've changed.
Yeah. Are we the problem? Have we been the problem this whole time?
Oh my gosh, am I just talking about
Are we
myself?
the problem? Sapia left? Is that why Ella left Pixie?
Oh my gosh.
We're sorry, all our entertainment.
Is this why they threw Dia off the cliff?
Gosh dang it, it is.
Doggone, why?
We don't even know if they're getting any better. They're still just evil. I just love how their lore is like, oh, cool, like the songs sound like, it's like, nope, they just continuously get more bad. And
yeah, I think they like killed their...
And I'm pretty sure Rinji didn't help anything.
They're like happy selves.
And just as bad, too. So
now they're literally villains in the Dark City.
Now, how did we get saved? Like, is Sapio coming back? I don't think so.
Didn't she like write the story for this?
I think she did it on purpose and got out before.
I know, she saw the writing on the walls.
She's like, you don't want to know how the story ends. And she left.
She just knows everything in the world. She doesn't want to share it.
I don't know. Okay. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I just want to say to all the non-K-pop groups that, like, actual groups that listen, shout out to all the idols out there who are debuting in groups or trying to be in a group from a tiny-ass company that has no money and no one will ever really know you and you're just tiny and small, but you're still trying to. I saw, like, a little article today about... I don't even know what the group was. I was going to try and look it up. It was like a boy group.
Oh, God.
And it was like a fan meeting.
It was Dustin.
It probably was. And there was literally like 5 people there for him, like fans. It was like an outside fan meeting thing when they talked to him. And like 5 people. And there was like comments on it. It was just like, it's like, okay, yeah, like we mainly see the top 10%, like 1% of groups that are like promoted, blah, blah, blah. But there's like all these other groups that are just small, just trying to like make it. And they're like trying to make it in a way that's not, oh, they're trying to be BTS or that big. But they're just trying to make it on the level they're at now. To like just be there for the fans that they have and to live out the dream they're trying to do. Like even if it is like a very low, like non-known. I just say shout out to you guys because that's awesome. And I would love to support these people. I would at least love to listen to music. It might suck.
In our song reviews, we bash a lot of these groups.
We do.
A lot for the
if it's not good, we're gonna say. But
honestly, we always say shout out to you guys for debuting and living
absolutely,
your dream. You know
absolutely. Because we've seen people try and try again on these survival shows, and it never works.
Do you know how many songs Tired of Happy Birthdays has put out?
Zero.
We
have I guess like 0.2 because there actually is a song.
But
I just want to like tease that all the time now and just have it be some giant thing. Like the actual song released.
One day we were gonna do it, but yeah, I mean, shout out to you guys. You did it.
I just say all these like
you've made it farther than a lot of people have.
All the groups, tiny. I don't even know if you have a music video. I don't know what you're even doing. Don't
Looking
know your
at you,
name,
Dustin.
Like you guys are a debuted K-pop group, and whatever fans you have, you make them extremely happy. Good. I will support that. I will support making your fans happy.
If it makes you feel any better,
and live in your dream because that's very cool.
5 people is one. More people than what showed up to Brittany Griner's homecoming when she got out of prison from Russia.
Remember that.
And 2, more than the tickets that were sold in all of Australia for the Blood on the Dance Floor concert back in like 2012.
They had to cancel that.
So, think about that. Think about that.
That's crazy because like that stuck with me my whole life was that article about Blood on the Dance Floor's Australian tour that sold 3 tickets.
In all of Australia. And they canceled the whole tour.
Who tried to promote that? Because my gosh.
It wasn't Leo Presents, let me tell you.
Yeah, those guys are professionals.
But no, shout out to you guys. Like, that's awesome. Good for you. Way to live your dreams.
I wanted to try and find out who it was. Because it literally was like a picture of like the group standing there. And just like a couple little people. They like blurred out their faces. I was like, that's awesome. Because you know for those little fans there, that's like the best moment ever.
Hey, all I'm saying is, if we went to do something and we had like 3 people show up.
I'd cry.
I'd be so hyped.
The one fan we met at a concert, we gave him money and gave him a hug.
Shout out to you, Brett.
He said we could hug him. So, but
yeah, it was consensual.
Brett was the man.
And we're gonna go see him in Indiana.
I'm so pumped.
Why can't I say Indianapolis, Indiana, and like
kind of weird that
weeks.
Is like the. I guess we have Illiopolis. I was like, it's kind of weird that the name of the city is kind of like the state name.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
I mean, we're Springfield and Illinois is.
Do we live in Spring?
But and I was like, yeah, Springs, the field. I don't know. That doesn't matter. But shout out to all the groups. Because it's like, I don't know. There's just so many tiers of groups trying to make it out there. And it's like a bloodbath because there's so many groups trying to make it out there.
Think about Pixie. They are a small group. I would not say they're a new group. They're maybe a little bit above that because they're kind of popular because in all the posts I see about people asking them to give them new groups to listen to, they all say Pixie. So clearly they're not a new group if everybody likes them this much. But, I mean, if you go for the tour and stuff they did, for whatever level they're at right now, like, say on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being, like, BTS, if they're, like, a 3, they could be, like, the best 3 group there is, because they had a shit ton of people show out to their shows. They sold everything.
They did well. I'd say they're probably 3. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying, though? It's
no,
like
yeah.
They may not be a 7, but they're the best 3 that you can be.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they are existing to be that 3 group.
And it's working.
To be, like, their 3 is their 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Like, and they don't need to be 10 because they already are.
Everything's relative.
3. Yeah, exactly. Like, they already are our favorite and the best wherever they are. And that's exactly the point.
Like, you have really good, popular podcasts, and you have us.
And you have like, crappy ones that
we're the
have
best,
hot salsa.
We're the best of the crappy podcast.
It's like, what did Captain Jack say? He's like, but you have heard of me. Right?
Yes, I know.
You're the worst pirate I've ever seen or ever heard of. He's like, but you have heard of me. It's like his boat sinking.
Dude, that's like the best thing ever.
I love
Captain Jack Sparrow. Fun fact has nothing to do with this episode. After I watched Pirates of the Caribbean for a very long time, I wanted to become a pirate. Like the pirates in the movie.
I don't blame you. Those movies are awesome. Captain Jack's like one of my favorite movie characters. He's sick.
But yeah,
I always think about that. I was like, but you have heard of me.
That's so funny.
But yeah, no. So you're right. That's like a perfect example. It's like they don't need to be higher than that 2 or 1 or 0.5. They are trying to be the best 0.5 group they can be. Shout out to all those groups. I'm sure I've talked horribly about your songs through our random reviews.
I was singing something once.
I'm sorry.
And they were like, wow, you're the worst so-and-so. And he goes, At least you said wow.
That's so funny. Yeah, what was that from?
I don't remember. It's like a movie I watched.
You did say, at least you said wow.
And then the my other favorite one is from Waiting, when he's like, we all know the difference between extraordinary and ordinary is that little extra.
The little extra.
That's our podcast. The
That's
little
our
extra.
motto, little extra.
The little
We
extra.
try.
That's the
We
new
try.
slogans on the shirts we're gonna make.
Speaking of that, we do need some new gear. Oh yeah, shout out to all the, because I think being an idol would be the worst.
Oh, I do too.
I think that job would be horrible.
We watched some like
You have to be
Pixie pre-debut stuff. It was like little documentaries about them before they became the group, you know, like leading up to their debut. Literally watched it, sit there so depressed, and I'm like, maybe you'd be better off if you weren't an idol. Like, this is so sad.
It's just like, that's so strenuous and so difficult. And
so much work.
You have to maintain your image 24/7 of like, they really have to want it. You really have to. I could not. I just feel like,
especially for years and years and years of doing it, like twice or something.
I mean, Gio trained for a decade. And like, I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't know. But, c'est la vie. I don't even know what that means. I don't think that fits in this.
The little extra.
A little extra. But yeah, I don't know. This is a different type of episode. I can't really think of anything else that's different.
I kind of like these ones. I mean, we haven't really done this in actually probably a year plus.
I think there's a lot of other stuff I can't think of.
Just our talking ones are fun when we just kind of go off and on tangents, because it's what we do, like, not on the podcast, so it's kind of nice to bring it to the podcast. And thank you for all the one, maybe two person Wet Works and his girlfriend for listening to this far.
Also, shout out to the girl on YouTube that was like super mad for some reason about our Boys Planet reaction video.
What happened?
And she like called us out about
why were they mad? Come on.
Called us out about our people that we liked and how we didn't like Tay-Ray or Guvin.
Yeah. And
that if we got the lineup that we wanted, it would have been a terrible lineup. And everybody she picked made it, and that just proves how much better she was than us.
That's just rude.
And I'm just glad. Bet you're super excited from the debut. Like, I don't know what you tell you. Awesome.
And also, first off, when are they debuting?
I don't know. I forgot all about them. Are they still a group?
I don't know. Yeah, did they?
Is X1 still around?
What is their name?
Who here remembers who X1 is?
I forgot.
And when they revolutionized music.
I forgot what their name is.
That's another thing that always stuck with me.
I know.
Thanks, Twitter.
Or BTS being the first person to wear a mask.
Oh, yeah, and save the world.
People just say weird stuff on the internet.
The internet's a crazy place. Wow. Don't ever go there.
First off, that person's a little rude.
She was like really mad.
Also,
I don't know if they were who they were. Really
most of the people we liked did make it.
Yeah, they were really upset. They were like...
We just didn't like a few. I mean, it's not... Didn't like is the wrong term. It's just not our favorite people. We would have rather had other people make it. Honestly, shout out to her or him, whoever... that all the people you wanted made it. Because I've never seen anyone in any type of elimination show scenario where their 100% group was what they wanted.
They literally said, you don't care about Guvin and Tay-Ray. Guvin is great at dancing, and Tay is one of the best vocalists in Boys Planet along with Jay and Huey. But you care about Matthew, who is average at best. Glad your picks didn't debut or the group would have been a disaster. And then they're like, well, most of my picks made it, so that says a lot. And I'm like, congrats.
That's rude. Excuse you.
I literally go, that's awesome. We're happy for you. I'm sure you're very excited for the group to debut here soon.
Yeah, I mean, every single one of your people made it. That's awesome.
Like, I don't know what.
Wait, didn't Matthew make it?
Yeah.
So why are they hating on Matthew if that's one of their people?
I got no idea.
That's rude. I don't know. Maybe we just come off a little harsh. But, I mean, everyone can't be your favorite person. And we're not going to lie and be like, wow, this group is everyone I like.
I'm so excited.
Sorry, I didn't really... Tay-Ray was not one of my favorite people through the show. Just how it is. There's definitely other people would have picked over him, but I mean, it is what it is too. Like, this group's gonna come out and probably have great songs.
It's all right. Shout out to you guys. I love all of our.
Yeah, honestly though, I'm glad people.
Sayings.
I'm glad our thrices. No, that's cool. At least people can like express themselves. That's cool. That's cool, even if it's a rude.
That is what it is.
That's funny though. That says a lot.
I just can't believe...
I shouldn't be like, well, I didn't vote for one person, so...
I just can't believe they're, like, so serious about it. It's been, like... I feel like that's been over for years.
Yeah, they commented that super recent, right?
Oh, it was, like, 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's been done for a while. Maybe they're just mad because they're not debuting yet. Where are they?
I don't know. I don't even see anything about them, but I also don't know anything about them.
I don't really follow anything, but I don't know where they are. They gotta be doing something.
I just want everybody to go in this comment section and comment about all the things we got wrong and how much you hate us.
What's different about K-pop from when you got into it? What could be better? What could be worse?
Well, you see, I got into it on a Monday and it's now Friday, so it's a different day of the week.
Do you like K-pop still? Do you know what K-pop is?
How much
is it time
do you
to
like
have
K-pop
that?
now
What is that K-pop episode?
Compared to when you got into it during COVID?
Was that a fad? Was it not a fad? Are you still into it?
It honestly seems like it is. Or it was.
I feel like that's probably for some people to kind of be into it because it was like a hip thing for a second, and then maybe they're not anymore. I don't know. This drink is getting much worse as I drink it, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. If you still like it, good for you. If you don't still like it, I mean, I don't know why you'd be listening to this. So
absolutely,
thumbs down. It still gives us some traction.
Bring the pain.
But no, this is a fun episode. It's fun to just talk about random stuff.
We can always do more ones like this because we're good at talking, I guess, sometimes. But yeah, we can wrap it up now. I'm sure we'll like turn this off and think of a million more things, but that's okay. We can just have another episode eventually.
I'll never forget when I did my behind the wheel driving when I was in school. I was like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
And our behind the wheel teacher was a football coach from Lanphier because, they don't really make a lot, so they do like side job stuff.
Right.
It's because we like co-opted with Lanphier behind the wheel or whatever.
Sure.
And he talked to me about football and basketball stats all the time because, I don't know, he like stats.
He was a coach, yeah. Naturally.
And I'll never forget, there's one time we were driving, he's like, you ever think about having your own radio show and like talking about sports on the radio?
What?
And I was like, no, why'd I do that?
Wow.
But so, here we are.
He knew. He knew.
This was back in 2003.
Damn.
Not 2006, 2007.
Dude, that's crazy, actually.
So
he knew the
14
prophecy.
plus years ago.
It's just not sports.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty much.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, we do talk about whatever.
But the thing that I also think was funny about that is back then, speaking of changing, back then, people like legit went to school and stuff and like had to get internships to be on the radio and be a radio DJ. That was like a legit career people wanted.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like us, any type of buffoons can have a podcast.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's essentially the exact same thing.
It is, but you could still do it as a job. Like,
no, I get that.
Like,
but I'm just saying, it's like, you can do it as a job, but we could also just do this like we're doing it right now. Anybody can do it.
Yeah. It's not some like crazy thing that like you can't.
Because this like didn't exist back then.
Like getting your voice out there is easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like back then, it was like
internet and
you literally had to be on a radio to do a radio station thing.
Right.
To be heard locally or whatever.
Yeah.
Where right now we're probably reaching more people in different countries than anybody at the radio station at WDBR ever would have.
Yeah.
Right. It's weird. Like,
no, yeah, it's just different now, and there's obviously a bajillion podcasts. Yeah, because I don't even know if a podcast was a thing then.
It wasn't.
In
2007? Dude.
I don't think
you guys realize what wasn't a thing in 2007. YouTube really wasn't a thing in 2007. Twitter didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist. Snapchat didn't exist. Facebook really didn't exist. MySpace was really popular.
MySpace was sick. The layout of MySpace was dope. Oh, it'd be so sick now because you could just have a K-pop song, like a K-pop background and K-pop everything.
I remember when I first got I don't even use Twitter, but I remember when I first got my Twitter page, I was sitting in my friend Nick's house at like 2007, 2008, started the account, no idea what it was doing, logged out, and never got back onto it again.
No, I mean, I have it. I don't get onto it too much. I just check like, obviously, like sports, that K-pop stuff, but
it's just like, it's crazy because now it's like a huge thing.
I remember too, I was like, what is this? Like, you just put thoughts on there?
It's like I'm just talking to myself. This is dumb.
I was like, this is dumb.
But yeah, it's like, that stuff did not exist when I was younger. Believe it or not, kids. It did not exist.
Yeah, I mean,
we had like iPhone 2s.
Pretty much same here. I remember when someone came in and they had like the first iPhone and it was like the most mind-blowing thing ever.
I remember the popular kids that were rich had razors, and we thought they were like billionaires.
Still pretty sick, honestly.
I remember when the razor became a flat candy bar phone and it was the sliver.
Yeah, I remember that too.
They had the pink slivers.
Yeah.
Or they had the sidekick.
Isn't the Razor? You can get one now. Isn't there like a new one?
I think it's like some weird one now.
And it the screen bends.
Yeah,
I feel like that like break.
But yeah, this was like he told me. He's like, "Did you ever think about being like on the radio and talking about sports?"
He knew it just was not quite sports.
And I was like,
kind of.
No, why would I do that? And here we are.
He's like, just wait, son. Just wait.
If only you could hear me now. Weird.
You're like, what the heck are you talking about?
Oh, all right. Closing segment. Forgot all about this.
Oh, yeah, we got a drink.
Special drink, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, during Thanksgiving last year, Justin got a turkey and gravy flavored Jones soda.
Yeah.
And now, today we have a new flavor that's very mild called Hatch Chili and Lime, which is the same flavor of boneless buffalo wings we got at B-Dubs today.
Buffalo Wild Wings, yeah. So a lot of lime today. Oh,
I don't know about this.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh. It really smells like a Hatch chili.
It's a very kind of brightish light green. Oh, gosh. It smells just like if you squeezed one into like a cup.
Or like if you... It smells like... It actually kind of smells like jalapeno kettle chips.
Yeah, it doesn't smell anything like a soda.
This is for you while it works.
Yeah, we need to send him this.
I can like, dude, it's like burning my nostrils.
It's really burning the cup. Oh.
Cheers.
I haven't even had it yet. I just sniffed it.
You know, really, it's not terrible.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Wow, the sniff was way more intense than the drink.
It really is. I mean, the drink itself's actually not bad. If you like Hatch chilies, I guess, it's pretty good.
You know what? This is pretty good.
But it doesn't have like a spicy kick to it.
It's kind of just
smells spicy.
It like tastes like a chili, but it's like kind of sweet. Oh gosh, I can't wait to see that.
It also has a luchador on the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know who that is.
Ramses.
Ramses.
How are you? How are you?
The children, they love you. Overall, alright, the second drink wasn't as good.
I mean, I'm probably not going to buy it, but I'm impressed.
Where's that nasty tasting energy drink so I can wash this down?
Here, you can have this one. I drank the whole other one.
Okay. That guy's going in the trash.
My nostrils are open.
Ooh, that might be worse.
Yeah.
I might have to drink. Oh, God.
Honestly,
where'd my water go?
I think drink the salsa.
I know.
It was the best thing.
All right, well. Glad the hardcore fans are waiting for that at the end. So
yeah, that's what we had to do. Is we had to.
I got a lot of weird taste in my mouth.
I know. That thing opened up my nostrils so much.
Oh, I will say, if I had to rank it, better.
I liked it more than these things.
Better than the energy drinks we had. Better than the turkey and gravy one we had.
Oh, that one sucked.
Worse than normal water from the sink.
Yeah. The sugar cookie one was better than it for sure.
The sugar cookie one was pretty good.
It was actually pretty solid. It was just super sweet. Yeah, the water from the sink better than that for sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, It's been a long episode. We're closing it out.
We'll wrap it up.
Things are getting weird.
But yeah, that does it for this week. We love you guys. I'm JT. He's Foggerall. We are the Kpop Kimchi Podcast. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Later.
Woo!